Hi everybody, my name is Jim and welcome to my channel. So that little video you seen was me using my oval cutting rig that I used to make these ovals. And this is fractal burning. There's some videos on my channel that shows this process, so head over and check them out. So my two sons and I made this a year ago, I guess it is, and it works great. One of the keys to drying these boards without splitting is even wall thickness, and that's what this does. So if you do like what you see here today, please consider subscribing, like and share and all that good stuff. I would really appreciate it. So I'll walk you around the rig, point out some stuff, and then we'll do some sawing. All right, so we might as well just start at the overall dimensions of this. So this is 10 feet long and 6.5 feet wide. So we got some 3x3 angle iron, welded them together to make the frame, and then inside of the frame we put 4-inch C-channel. Can't remember exactly how big these uprights are. Yeah, so they're 3.5 by 1.5 tubing, and then they're kind of hinged. We sleeve them inside here and put this pipe through. So that's kind of where the hinge of it is. I did weld in this piece of angle iron along here to hold this. I found when the logs were getting short that it wouldn't work properly, so because it would want to dip out. So I put this angle iron in to stop that. So this uses the same winch that I have on my log trailer, and you've seen on the back of my truck as well. So it's just on a mount like this. I actually need to drill a hole and put a pin through there, but it's not going to go anywhere. Again, comes up over here to a pulley. Now you can take this and go out to the log pile and winch logs directly into you, and that's what I did in the beginning. I've also used this to actually even pull logs off the back of my truck and trailer. So when I want to advance the log, I run it through the pulley here, up over to this pulley, and it goes all the way back to here. So you can actually probably put a log on here that's probably close to 14 feet long and just use the winch, and it just pulls it up tight into the mount. So let's talk about the mount for the saw itself. I'll try and get out of the light here. So this is actually a commercial unit. This piece is, anyway. I can't remember the name of the company, but anyway, it came on this piece here was actually quite, I think it's meant to actually be mounted on a 2x6, and then you just, or a 2x6 onto a log, and then you run it along the 2x6. But it's just not strong enough, so I went ahead and made my own. If you check on Instagram from a year ago, you'll see me using the old mount, but it just wasn't doing it for me anymore. And of course you need a fairly decent sized saw. This is a 365 Husqvarna, and it's actually got a 27-inch blade on it. And of course you need that length in order to get some decent sized cookies. So yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. It's very strong. I don't have any doubts that this could easily lift a very large log, and then if you wanted to actually slab it, like, you know, for making kitchen tables, then you could. Well, that's it right there. The power source, all I use is this rechargeable battery. So you need these relays in order for this to work. So I just I just received the supplies today to make a shorter cord. This cord actually goes onto my truck, so it goes all the way to the battery terminals on my truck, and then it goes to the back to the winch. So next time I use this, I won't have this big mess. I'll just have some short wires for it to hook onto. But I was waiting for this coupler. That was one of the main things I was waiting for, but that came in today. The remote for my winch actually got busted, so this is what I'm dealing with now. I've been looking for parts to find the handle and all the guts and the switch, but just can't do it. So it's made by Super Winch, but I just cannot seem to get a number. And this is during COVID-19 too, so everything's closed. So this will work for now, but I certainly will have to come up with a better solution in the future. Okay, so it's the next day. I reviewed the footage from yesterday, and I noticed that I didn't really show all this well. So of course this is the 4-inch C channel, and it needs to be quite strong so it doesn't bend from the force of the winch. So yeah, the winch comes up from its riser over there onto this pulley. There's a hook on the top here, and then down to the log. Now this has to be relatively high so that the saw doesn't hit the cable. So that's why this is as high as it is. And you'll see me throughout the video. I'll have to kind of pull things and move things around with my hands, but at least I'm not always dragging the log forward when I'm doing it. So yeah, there's just some angle iron welded down here. So when this log rig drops, obviously this has to be off of it. This pulls off, and then you can lower the rig. So it's just sitting there. It's not even pinned. So yeah, let's do some sawing. So I got to be honest with you, I made the new mount for this, and it's really been fighting me. And I thought it was the mount, but in reality, I forgot that after I get the log up onto the bed and it's lifted, I removed the chain because the chain's kind of throwing the log out of whack doing this number. So then I just take a lag bolt, short piece of chain, goes in the end of the log, and then that advances it forward, and that way the log sits flat on the bed. I will also say that, you know, if you got a nice straight log, you're going to have, it's going to be a lot easier. You get any logs that have curves in them, they can be a real bugger to try and fool around with to get them flush up against the stop. But yeah, we'll do another one with this on it, and hopefully it'll work better. And then I'll show you what I do before I put them away to dry. Okay, so we're in my drying shed. So the last thing that we need to do in order to dry these boards, to really limit how much cracking you're going to get, is to apply an end grain sealer. Now I like to use Anchor Seal by UC Coatings. It's a great product. I've used it for many, many years. So the key to drying these things is the moisture. The key to drying any wood is for the moisture to be slowly released from the wood. If moisture is released from the wood too fast, that's where your splitting comes from. So what I like to do is pour the Anchor Seal into these paint trays, and then I just use a roller. Any old roller will do. Now this stuff can be brushed on as well. I find when you're working on these flat surfaces, it's a lot easier just to use a roller, and literally I do hundreds of these, so this is the way to do it for me. It can also be sprayed. So that's what we're going to do next. Yeah, so like I said, I like to just roll it on. I find that one application works well. You can certainly put it on again if you wish. I just found that in this case here, it's not necessary. So I'll just do a couple of these. So as you can see, it goes on pretty much just like paint. So side. Now what I like to do is leave these in here for 3 months. And then after that, they go into my fridge kilns. Or actually, this one's a freezer. And they're dried to 7% and then finished. So yeah, that's it. It's not rocket science. There. We've only got probably another 200 to go. Okay, so that's it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'm kind of curious as to what you think about the log oval cutting rig. I didn't have any plans. It all come out of my head. And like I said, my sons and I both put it together. Yeah, so if you got the time, head over to Facebook and Instagram at Sprague Woodturning and follow me along there. That would be great. I got a lot of great content coming up. One of these days I'm going to get around to actually doing some more wood turning stuff. Inlay work, all that kind of stuff. So stay safe, and we'll see you at the next one. Thanks.